Kudos to Christian Rios on our team for getting these permits in expedited fashion in Peru. This is a guy that has been a part of 3 separate silver discoveries within the country of Peru at Bear Creek, and to have him on our team is huge. You know, we hit bonanza grade, we hit high grade, we hit economic grade. Now we're going after volume and width.
Yeah.
And we feel that Curibaya is going to give us that. And then we have this copper porphyry story that has come to light. So it really gives us 2 opportunities just at Curibaya. We have the address, the silver, you know, on top of that, this is a geologist dream. We're going after something big. You know, we're not going after something that we can incrementally increase the size of along the way and inch forward and get the attention of the majors. We have the attention of the majors.
What's up, guys? Jay Martin here, host of The Jay Martin Show, and I'm about to sit down with the CEO of Tier 1 Silver, Pete Dembicki. Now, I've had Pete on the show many times, along with his chairman, Ivan Bebic. And the last time we had these guys on was right after they had completed their drill program at the Curibaya project in Peru. A bunch of holes came out, the last of which, bonanza grade, an absolute banger, and stopped the market dead in their tracks. However, right after that, every market in the world began to free fall, and Tier 1 share price fell with it. So what I wanted to do today was hear from Pete if we were going to get validation that what they proved with their last drill program could be continued. In order to do that, they needed a new permit, which they just got. A lot of people thought they couldn't do this in Peru. So lots to come for Tier 1. We get into the details today with Pete. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Pete.
Jay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Good to see you. Well, thanks for coming back and getting back in front of my audience, chatting with me, because we've been following this story since you guys went public, actually before that. And the last time we spoke, you know, what we were focused on was you had just brought on your new Senior Vice President of Exploration, Christian Rios. I was a big fan of that decision in terms of who you want on your team in Peru. It's him for sure. You guys had just put out your drill results from Curibaya. The last hole, which was bonanza grade, an absolute banger, stopped the market dead in their tracks. 30% of those holes were amazing. The market subsequently, the broad market subsequently fall off a cliff, and that news has kind of been lost in the noise. Not to me, because since then, since we last spoke, a few things have happened, right? Number 1, you got your DIA, your new permit for expanded exploration. I want to talk about that. Number 2, you guys put a bunch of cash in the treasury, and I bought a bunch more shares in Tier 1, so we can talk about that. Very impressed you guys could raise that money last spring when every market in the world was in free fall. So it's a testament to the street credibility you've earned with your shareholders, because I think 85% of that dough came from existing shareholders. So we'll talk about that. And then obviously, what every retail investor wants to know is what's going to make the share price go up? How am I going to get paid? How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, last time we spoke, we were just recapping the previous drill program, where our last hole was the best hole of our entire program in a never before drilled area. So to have our last hole of the program being our best, it set us on this great momentum as to where do we go next. And so, as I believe I explained to your audience last time, we brought in these world-renowned consultants to walk the property to give us an indication if we're on the right track. And independently, both came out and said, you're on it. If you guys go north on your property to this Curibaya corridor, you're going to have the ability to replicate these extreme bonanza grades that the world has never seen before at the drill bit and in greater widths. And so that's the game plan, is to replicate these grades in higher volumes. And when we get that, I think we're going to verify to a lot of people that this is one of the richest silver discoveries in Latin America.
And what were those grades? Can you recap that for my audience?
Sure. So in our first pass of drilling, we did 5,000 meters of drilling over 16 holes. And in our first 6 holes, we got our first bonanza grade hit plus kilo hit. We followed it up with a couple of economic grade intercepts. But in our last one, hole number 16 of 1.5 meters of 1.2 kilos of silver, it was a huge milestone for us to replicate those grades subsurface. Because we had such an incredible endowment on surface before through rock samples, grades no one had ever seen in the sector. 300,000 grams per ton silver, up to 1 kilo of gold, 70 plus samples over bonanza grade silver, 70 plus samples over 2.5 grams gold. So we had the attention, we have this grade. Now we got to focus on where is the source, where is it coming from? And it turns out that this silver system is being driven to surface, and over the years it's been eroded. And the story of erosion is all of our top intercepts in our drill program came quite close to surface. So looking at it, if you go north on our property to this Kimbaya zone, we have about 400 or 500 more meters of elevation, which the silver will be preserved in there. And we can hit the drill with it and find that width to get that volume, which is going to truly make this one of the best silver discoveries out there.
And you can do that now because you guys got your permit, which is probably the most significant news. And I want to talk about that because a lot of companies aren't getting permitted right now. Investors are very wary of that. People love to speculate about politics, and they love to speculate about politics in Peru. It's like, okay, well, did your project get permitted? Yes. Is it moving forward? Yes. That's what we should focus on. So what is the significance of your DIA? What does that mean for the company? What can you do now?
Receiving this permit was a huge milestone for us on two separate parts. One, exploration-wise. Kudos to Christian Rios on our team for getting these permits in expedited fashion in Peru. This is a guy that has been a part of 3 separate silver discoveries within the country of Peru at Bear Creek. And to have him on our team is huge. So we have an all-star team of operators and geologists down there that are going to go and hunt and find this big silver discovery. Secondly, more of a political in nature and maybe the perception of investing in Peru as a whole, because we see a lot of headline news, a lot of clickbait, warning people off of the turmoil politically in Peru. However, as an exploration company, it's all systems go. And to receive this permit in an expedited fashion, before we anticipated to receive it, really give a signal to the world that Peru is open for business. They are in favor of exploration. They are in favor of capital, international capital coming into the country to help their economy. It's such a large part of their GDP. And so it was big on 2 fronts, you know. And I think if you brush aside a lot of the clickbait headline news of what's happening out there, you can see that Peru is one of the best countries to operate in South America, and being such a mineral-rich country as it is, one of the best in the world.
Well, people don't recognize anything when the market's in free fall, right?
That's right.
I mean, you said that at the jump, like a falling tide crushes all ships, right? And you're there right now. So I appreciate that you don't take it personally and you're able to stay focused. It's something that most investors do really poorly, is they label themselves as investors, but they think like traders. And so near-term news can really push them off of their narrative and their thesis, right? When it's like, what's your time horizon here, right? If I took a position, you know, today and my time horizon is 5 years, do I really care about the quarter by quarter market performance if it doesn't relate directly to this story, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Always difficult. Everybody has different expectations, and everybody has different financial objectives when they're investing, and expectations. And I think everybody knows that everybody wants that discovery on an expedited basis.
Of course.
They want it in the first drill hole.
I want to be rich tomorrow.
And, yeah, for sure. And trust me, we want that as well.
Yeah.
But we have to be prudent with how we spend, how we direct our drilling, and we're not just going to throw holes out there and hoping that, you know, fingers crossed. So, you know, the plan since the last drill program is to say, okay, let's take a step back. I think we mentioned last time we brought in 2 world-renowned consultants to go and walk the property. They both came back and said, you guys are on it. You're going to head up to this Kimbaya corridor, which our new DIA allows us to go and get. It allows us for 20 more pads and 10 holes per pad. So that gives us a lot more flexibility about how aggressive we can drill.
Yeah.
And if we start tagging onto the right things we want to see, you know, we can remain on that same pattern nearby and have really fan out those drills to go for it.
So where are you at in that regard then? So you're cashed up, right? Money in the treasury, and, you know, maybe you don't like raising money at that valuation. Again, I'm just being honest, personally, I don't care. It's beneficial for me to take a position at a cheaper price if I know my time horizon is what it is. I believe you raised the cash from about 85% pre-existing shareholders, which is to say a lot of your shareholders think like I do, which is good news for me. Hopefully that means we're not going to sell on the first piece of good news, right? I don't intend to. So you've got cash in the bank, you've got the new permit. So where are you now? Are you waiting on information from Christian down in Peru and to determine how you're going to spend that cash, and what's the next few steps?
That's it. You know, we raised money in a really challenging environment. Kudos to our team, to my chairman, Ivan Bebic, who I work very closely with. We have such a great network in retail and high net worth investors that are true supporters of our company, always have been. Again, it's a bet on people that I think people understand, especially in this sector. So what are we doing now? We have Christian and his team have taken a really methodical approach to how we're going about this second drill program. So we wanted to go out to this Curibaya zone. We wanted to find some 20 to 30 extremely good targets to drill under. We didn't want to go up there with just a handful. So we're trenching, channel sampling, chipping, geophysics. We really want to get a good understanding of where these drill holes are going to go before we launch this program.
Okay.
And we also understand that we don't know what the capital markets are going to look like as far as raising capital over the next 6 months. A lot of things come into play, politics and rates and everything. And you know, I sure feel like on a broad macro level, precious metals, the table's set for this thing to really take off.
Yes.
And I think we're going to learn a lot more in the next few months as we approach, you know, midterm elections down in the US, which kind of guides policy and where everything's going to go. So we're set, you know, on the launching pad, ready to go and take off. But at the same time, we don't want to put ourselves in a hole, in a desperate situation where we're spending on a huge program, only to have the market, you know, fall apart on us again. So we're being very prudent. We're being very methodical. It's painful for me because I want to go. I want to go out and drill. I want to start hitting. I want to get everyone excited about this program. So we have to just, you know, take our time and go about this the right way, because this Curibaya, it is there for us. It has the richest endowment of precious metals grades on surface, near surface, in channel sampling that we know of in the world. And to have this copper porphyry story come to life, and it's getting more real by the day. You know, we have taken a look. As you said, Christian took over from Dave. He's doing a phenomenal job. Christian's a very factual guy. We're relogging all of our cores, and we are noticing some serious indication of this presence of a porphyry. And so we have geophysics commencing to really get a handle on where this copper porphyry is, location, depth from surface, you know, how wide it is. And that'll set the tone for how we're going to go test it with the drill hole once it comes there. And again, we're only dealing with, you know, 1/7 of our property. Curibaya is, you know, almost 17,000 hectares. And when you pull it back and you look at our geophysics that we had done years ago, we had noticed the indications of other copper porphyries throughout the property. One notably to the northwest of where we're focused on the silver right now. So we're actually going to extend that geophysics to the north to go and test for that as well. So, you know, this property just keeps coming with opportunities with us. We have our high grade silver endowment that we're going to go drill directly under in this Curibaya zone. As a reminder to our shareholders, the Curibaya area was at that 500-600 meters more higher in elevation. So we feel that we have the precious metals preserved in there to go and test. You know, we hit bonanza grade, we hit high grade, we hit economic grade. Now we're going after volume and width. And we feel that Curibaya is going to give us that. And then we have this copper porphyry story that has come to light. So it really gives us two opportunities just at Curibaya in this small 20 square kilometer footprint.
So let's separate those two things, because I imagine a lot of your shareholders are like me. You know, we bought in for the silver play. We got excited by the bonanza grade silver holes. And what we want next is validation, right? That there's more of this. I love the optionality of the porphyry. Trust me. Like, I think that's so important in an exploration play to have that optionality, that alternative upside, right? I wouldn't call it an insurance policy, but it's kind of an insurance policy, right? It's like, we got this and this, right? And that could turn out a number of ways. Say it's better than you think it is. You can spin it off. It gives you all kinds of options there. But let's stick with Curibaya right now, because I imagine that's what a lot of investors want to know, is like, when are we going to get validation that what we think is there in terms of timeline and news flow?
Yeah, I think we're going to learn a lot in our next drill phase. And so when we commence on that Curibaya zone, that'll be our number one target.
Okay.
Plus, let's not forget that we had some really fantastic results out of our first drill program that were a little bit lower in elevation, and we're retesting some of those corridors, Tipal, Sambale, and the Madre corridor. So we're going to go back and probably add some drill holes there as well.
Yeah.
Because we're not just leaving that behind and starting fresh again. So really retargeting some of those old areas, but Curibaya will be our focus.
Okay.
And again, going after that width, that grade in that preserved area. I really feel like it's going to be there. World-renowned consultants, some of the best geologists in the world feel like it's going to be there. Christian feels like it's going to be there. So we're all just, champing at the bit to get at it. And like you said about the optionality on the copper, everybody loves silver. It's sexy. It moves markets. We've seen the power it has in the market. Copper, might not have that sex appeal in the market, but consider where we are. Consider our neighbors to our northwest, to our southeast in Chile, as we're right on the border of Chile. These are the giants.
Yeah.
These are the biggest in the world, and it makes a lot of sense why we might have that. And from a Peruvian's perspective, we've met with multiple groups in Peru that have worked at some of those largest, Cerro Verde, Tocopala, Quellaveco, and they look and they say, we've known for a long time that this area will host something, and we think you guys got it. And for us, that's validation, because we have the address, the silver, on top of that, this is a geologist dream, right? And this is what we're going off with. And again, I made this leap from my former career to join a group that has extreme pedigree and a lot of success in the past for shareholders, but we're going after something big. We're not going after something that we can incrementally increase the size of along the way and inch forward and get the attention of the majors. We have the attention of the majors. We are so fortunate. Everybody wants us to succeed because they want us to make the discovery so they can acquire that. And I think we got it. We're on the right track, and it's going to be a really exciting year for us as we prove these out.
I like it. And I like the comparison because silver is like the speedboat and copper is the super tanker, right?
That's
it
right.
just moves slower in that market. So I want to talk about Hurricane a little bit, catch my audience up on what we should know on that front.
Yeah, so last fall we acquired this project, something that we had wanted for a couple of years behind the scenes working on. The group that we acquired it from, formerly of Newmont, so a lot of our geologists had that Newmont background. We loved the work that they did, the stream sediment techniques, the blegging techniques to get to where they were. We acquired it with just a few channel samples that were some bonanza grade, high grade in this one small area that we just got access to in late fall and early winter.
Yep.
So we sent a team in there, quick reconnaissance channel sampling, sure enough, verified, got us that grade in this area called Magdalena, gave us that green light that we wanted to pursue this project. Since then, this spring, we got access to the northern area of Hurricane. And this is one that really put us on the map with a lot of majors in the area as well, because it did come with historical drill results. And these drill results were phenomenal. We're talking 14 meters of 2.6% copper, 0.62 nickel, 300 grams per ton cobalt. So where is this coming from? Christian Rios, speaking from Peru yesterday, saying this is the only known copper nickel deposit in all of Peru. Okay, you find these copper nickel deposits in Brazil or in Russia, and these can span for kilometers. These can be huge, huge deposits. So needless to say, we got a lot of attention from a lot of the majors and a lot of investors out there based on these historical drill results. So the fact that we got access now, we sent a team up there, trenching, rock sampling, channel sampling, getting more out of this. How are we going to go about this? About 60% of this area is undercover, so it's not outcropping on surface. So geophysics is going to tell us a lot. So as we bring Hurricane to the forefront, which it deserves to be now, it's again started off silver focused, and now we have this base metal, battery metal play coming into play, and it's just incredible that we have kind of a similar thing as Curibaya. Started off silver, base metal coming to play, and so Hurricane is truly a unique opportunity for us, and how we're going to go about attacking that. But right now, I feel like we're still 10, 12 months or so out from drilling Hurricane, being drill ready. But we need more data. We need to work on it, which we are doing in real time right now. We should have results out in the coming weeks from Hurricane. Okay,
so we're data gathering a Hurricane. There's no immediate plans to drill that. We're looking 12 to 14 months out before we start seeing some action there. In the meantime, we're figuring it out, right?
That's
Where
right.
should we go and invest our cash? On the Curibaya front, we can expect validation, right, about our thesis here, right, or news to that extent, explaining if we're as right as we hope we are. And then more development on the porphyry story. People are going to be watching this interview in September. What can they expect in terms of timeline on news events, Peter? And I know you hate to give dates, and I understand why every public company CEO hates to give dates on expected news, but like, give us some speculation. When can we expect something from you guys?
Yeah, we'll have results out throughout September and October from Curibaya, from the Curibaya area, which we hope is really going to guide our next drill program. Again, we already have some phenomenal grade channel samples out of Curibaya area, including, you know, the 20 meters of 300 grams per ton silver. Well, yeah, we got to drill under that. I think we have a couple meters of 6 kilos and a half a meter of 12 kilos up there to go after. So we have some phenomenal grade to attack up in the Curibaya corridor. So yeah, over the fall, you're going to see a lot of results trickling in over the next, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks, which will give us a lot of ammo as how to guide our next drill program.
Okay. I want to sit down to that point and get caught up again.
Yeah.
But look, Pete, I appreciate your time. Anything you want to leave my crew with? Anybody who's watching this, anything that we didn't give them that you feel like a shareholder needs to know?
Yeah, I know. I think if you look at our share price, I don't want to belabor, you know, where our share price is in the market. As I mentioned, we're not special. A lot of fantastic high quality peers out there are trading near their 52-week lows. But I do feel like the fall is going to bring a resurgence of energy to these names. As far as Tier 1 silver is concerned, we have the grade, we have the address. We just need to prove it out into volumes. And I think that we're going to know a lot over the next 10 to 12 months of where this project stands. And I know we're on the right track to get there. I don't know of any other junior exploration company out there that boasts all these opportunities that we have. At Curibaya, we have fantastic high-grade, bonanza-grade silver to attack with this copper porphyry story to come after. Again, remember, a silver, you know, life expectancy of a mine is, you know, 15 to 20 years. Some of the larger open-pit copper porphyries can be up to 100 years. Yeah. You know, so these are big swings, and that's what we're after at Tier 1. We go after large scale, and yes, it comes with risk, but the reward is just it's out of this world if we get it right. And at Hurricane, such a new, fresh story to come at us with these phenomenal battery mineral base metals coming at us. Again, silver's the focus at Hurricane, but with this resurgent story coming to life, you know, I can't stop thinking about, you know, what could that all be about, and this could be another Tier 1 project that we have in our portfolio. So I don't know of any other exploration company out there that boasts all of these opportunities that we have at Tier 1. And, you know, we're just as excited as everyone else to get this thing going and start drilling.
From day one, big swings has been the narrative that I've heard from both yourself and your chairman, Ivan Bebek, which like caught my attention. I mean, that's what we're in the exploration business for, right? Is those life-changing events if you get it right.
That's it. It's what puts you on the map. You know, like I said previously, we have the attention of the majors. They're watching us closely. They want us to succeed, and we want to succeed. So, it's a fantastic jurisdiction to be operating in, and we have a lot of love from the communities that we work with alongside with as partners, and we've seen that with the permits that we've been receiving. Peru is open for business. They have shown that they are still very in favor of exploration happening, and we just love the opportunities. So 2 phenomenal projects, but you know, obviously Curibaya being our flagship, we're on the verge of something really special here.
Okay, Pete, thank you so much for coming back on, getting in front of my audience. I want to do this again, maybe 6 weeks down the line. We've got some more news to talk about. My audience is actually going to hear from you sooner than that, because you're appearing on our Silver Summit feature on September 20th on the YouTube channel alongside David Morgan, Jim Lewis, Ross Beatty. We're doing a deep dive into the silver market. Love that you're going to come play a role on that show. September 20th on the YouTube channel, so don't miss that. And I look forward to connecting then.
Can't wait. Really excited about the panel, and you're sure going to be hearing a lot from Tier 1 over the next coming months. So it's going to be a fun fall.
Love it, man. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.